Hello, all you mayhem makers. I am Mindy with Quilting Mayhem, and welcome to our summer sampler. So I am super excited about this year's summer sampler. I did it a lot differently than I have in the past. It is not what I would call a traditional sampler, a little more on the modern side because it doesn't have sashing or a border. And I am having you make multiple blocks each week to have the designs kind of turn out a little differently. You'll start to see secondary designs as you go along, which kind of I think adds a lot of fun to the entire quilt. So we're starting out with block one. I love this, just kind of a happy rainbow block. It's just half square triangles. So we're starting out easy, don't worry. If you've done other sew-alongs with me, we've done lots of half square triangles. So they're super simple, and you're going to make 4 of these blocks, put them together, and they're going to be a nice main piece to this quilt. So to start out with that half square triangle, take your lighter fabric, do a line diagonal on the back, put them right sides together, and you're going to sew 1/4 inch from either side of the line, so it will look like this. And then all you're going to do, cut them apart, trim them so that you have a whole bunch of happy little half square triangles in the rainbow colors. All right, easy peasy. I have you cut them a little big so that you can trim them down smaller, and then you'll lay them out into this layout. Sew them together in rows, rows together into the square. And I'll lay it out on my table here, and I'll show you what I mean for the assembly of all the half square triangles. All right, so we're just going to move this camera, and I'll show you what we're doing. All right, so unfortunately my table next to my machine isn't super big, but you'll see. So we have all our squares laid out the way we want them, and you can change it up. If you don't like this layout or you're using different fabric, take your pick. All right, so we're going to start and we're going to sew across and make these 4 rows, and then the 4 rows will start to go together. So I'm going to start sewing these together and we'll show you what it looks like. All right, so rows are together, you can see, and what you will then do is start to match them up and make sure you pin your joining seams, because that's what's going to keep them straight. Notice I have pressed all my seams open. That is just a personal choice. You are welcome to press them all to one side. Just make sure if you're doing that, that one row you're pressing one direction, and then the other row needs to be pressed the opposite direction so that these seams will nest up. The nice thing about pressing open is you don't have to worry about which direction you went in which row in which block, which is part of why I do it. Just makes it easier, and I like that they're nice and flat when they're pressed open. I do use a starch spray. I use a mixture of flatter and best press and water, so I do it in thirds in my own spray bottle. All right, so match those seams, 1/4 inch seam allowance on both sides. We're going to press them open and then join that last seam and we'll be done. Okay, so we have this section together and this section together, and then we're just going to do that final seam down the middle, and we're going to pin it again to make sure all those seams line up so you get those nice points, and then you'll press it and be done. And you're just going to make 4 of these, like I said, and then put them together in that secondary design. So we'll take this to the machine. All right, there we go. I love this block. Keep in mind, if you're not doing the palette we're doing, if you're just doing whatever fabric you want, scrappy, whatever, you just lay out your fabrics in any way you like for this block, because once again, it's just half square triangles. I love it. This one makes me super happy. So this is why this one was kind of my main focal block for this quilt, and we're off to a good start. If you have any questions, reach out. You can email info@quiltingmayhem. You can call the shop. Of course, if you're local, come visit the shop. You ask questions if you are not getting those half square triangles maybe to work out right. I would be more than happy to help you. Otherwise, hopefully you're following along our Facebook, our Instagram, our YouTube channel, where I will be posting all the videos, and even TikTok. We post a little bit everywhere. And like, share us, all the good stuff. You know, I'm sure lots of people will hopefully enjoy this block. So our summer is off to a good start. Have a lovely day. Keep on stitching.